a wooden picture frame. This one I bought was already painted white. Painter's tape, paint, foam brush, 1-inch ribbon, a ruler, scissors, and a hot glue gun. The first step in creating your picture frame is you're going to want to cut your tape to the size that you want. I cut mine 1.5 inches long. My tape was 1 inch wide and I just cut that in half. Then you want to put the two corners together to make a V or upside down V, something like this. You're going to want to make a few. I made a lot. Depends on the size of your frame too, depends on how many you're going to need and how big of a V you make. The next step is actually putting down the pattern on your wooden picture frame. With this step, you could either have painted it firsthand. Mine already came white, so I was okay with that. But if you're going to do separate color, you're going to want to paint it first. Let that dry overnight and go ahead and start with your tape. You can measure it to make it exact spacing between each of the tapes, or you can freehand it like I'm doing. The only thing I would suggest is once you've laid out one or two, go ahead and use a ruler to make sure that they're even so it's not too lopsided. Once you've placed all your tape, this is what the frame will look like. I would suggest pressing down just to make sure none of the paint seeps through the tape. Now, depending on what kind of paint you're going to use, you want to make sure you shake it really well. And I also suggest putting small amounts of paint on your paintbrush or foam brush in this case. The less you put on, I feel the better it applies. You also want to make sure that you get really close to the tape. You don't want to have any spaces because once you take the tape off, it's really kind of hard to fix. But you want to go ahead and do that. Depending on the paint you use also depends on if you're going to use 1 or 2 coats. Now while that's drying, you want to go ahead and start with your bow. I have a more detailed video down below if you guys want to see it in the description box. It's more detailed and I walk you through the process. Of course, the bow is also optional. You don't have to do it, but I think it adds a little something to your picture frame. Once your picture frame is completely dry, go ahead and remove the tape. And I like to place the bow in different areas of the picture frame just to see what it's like. This also depends on your personal preference, of course, and the type of picture frame you picked, whether it be oval, square, round, smaller, bigger, it all depends. I hope you enjoyed the video and it's useful to you. Please leave a comment, rate, or subscribe.